Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lanolin, and we're back. Episode 8. I didn't put it down here this time. But yeah, back to episode 8. And we're going to get started with our Tinker's Construct tools. Oh yeah. We got... what? Anyway. We, probably just a visual bug. I got myself some materials. We got a nice bit of iron, which is good. Some aluminum, which is what we need. And some copper. So, to get started, we need to grab the right book. Whoop. There we go. We need to make some aluminum brass so we can start making the stuff we need to actually make tools. Now, to make aluminum brass, as it said, we needed copper and aluminum. Now, because it gives two ingots per ore, we actually need, we have to make a minimum of, I believe... Hold on, math. That'll be 8, 6. Let's just throw this in there and see what happens. There we go. I think that's the correct amount. Let's just do this, just to be safe. 2, 4, 6, and then 4. I'm sorry, 2. 2, 4, 6, and 2. We'll see how it turns out. Now, basically what we're doing is we're heating this up so we can make the cast, so then we can actually use some of these patterns. Because right now these patterns are useless. Like, why would you can't, like in the olden days of Tinker's Construct, you could just take one of these wooden stencils, toss it in here, and pour out like molten hot goo onto it, and it would turn into a piece of something, which was silly. That didn't make any sense. So now it's been changed up a bit, a few times actually over its course of its lifetime. Makes a bit more sense now. So let this finish up, and this should turn into molten aluminum brass. Molten copper. What? Did we not have enough aluminum? Now, I actually played around with this stuff a bit, like, you know, in other worlds and stuff, testing to make sure I was ready. I guess I still didn't quite have it down pat perfect. So anyway, while that's going on, we need to actually make patterns of the stuff that we want. Now, actually, I think I have everything I need right there. Because the first thing I obviously want to make is a pick. So we're going to do that. Now, the way this works now is you have to actually make the... See, you have to make the heads and stuff using like simple pieces like cobblestone, flint, paper, stuff like that. Which is what we're going to go ahead and do. So we got our rod, and then hopefully I can actually use this. Yeah. If we come over here to the tool station, pick should come together and make a pick. But we don't want to use these for that. What we want to use these for is pouring stuff over to make the actual casts of the really nice stuff. All right, we still have too much copper in there. This should even it out, hopefully. If not, I'll be sad. Because the book states that because you get 2 for each piece of ore, it makes you have to do a little bit of math to make sure that you're doing it right. Wrong book. Or I'm just like overlooking something completely. Like aluminum brass is made from aluminum and copper. Now we could use gold to make the casts, but I really don't want to. Like the blank casts over here are made by pouring aluminum, brass, or gold into an empty casting table, which you can then turn the ingot cast and you can turn that one blank cast into an ingot cast in the stencil table. And then after that, part casts are created by pouring metal around existing parts like a pickaxe head, like we just did. Now that being said, actually, I wonder if I can just put iron in there and then go from there. Okay. This should fix it, hopefully. going to come out? Oh, there we go. It's aluminum brass is on the bottom. So there, we have our blank cast. Now we can come over here to the stencil table. Now this is the only thing that you can put into the stencil. Whoop. Please. Oh wait, that's right. This is the blank cast is the only thing you can put into the stencil table to get like something like this out. Now if we put this in here, you know, we can make ingots now. So that's the problem that we had before. Like when we had to get rid of the iron and stuff, we didn't have an ingot cast to pour the extra bits into. All we had was this over here, which we need, you know, 9 to make a block. And eventually we had less than 9 and we can't do anything with that. So yeah, that sucks. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to put our pickaxe set in there. So now we have a pickaxe head cast. And do the same thing with the stone binding. And the tool rod. Sweet. And now these we can just kind of, we don't really need these anymore now. We got our casts, so now we can make, you know, you can use these things for future purposes. Now we're also going to go ahead and make a whole bunch of tools actually. Because I want something in particular. I need, it's a board pattern. I want to make the big expensive tools. So what we're going to do actually is run over here, and I believe we need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because we actually need the part builder in order to build the nice big tools that have like crazy properties, which we'll look into, like the hammer and the lumber axe and all that stuff. And to make things simple, I'm just going to go ahead and put these in a furnace and let them cook up. Might be a waste of coal coke, because I'm not sure exactly how long coal coke will burn, but eh. Okay, so we're going to grab our materials in new book, which contains all the different stuff you can build, like long swords, rapiers, daggers, frying pans, battle signs, chisels, etc. But what I want is the hammer and the lumber axe. I'm not too worried about the excavator, and I'm not too worried about the scythe. I'll probably make the excavator eventually, but right now my main focuses are the hammer and the lumber axe. The hammer is going to allow us to mine in a 3x3 area, like it says here. And of course the direction depends on which face is pounded and all that fun stuff. And then it also does extra damage to undead, which is really nice. And then the lumber axe is going to allow you like completely fell trees. Like it'll harvest the entire trees, which has a max height of 30. So most trees work just fine. Trees are defined as leaves on top of logs. So yeah. And I guess it mines in a 3x3 area. It's a fallback if a tree is not found. I don't think you don't have to worry about the lumber axe chopping down your whole house, basically, is what he's saying. Because it's going to look to chop down trees. If there's no trees, I believe it acts just like a regular axe. But we'll see. So, that being said, we need a hammerhead, a large plate, a tough rod, and then a broad axe head, and a tough binding. So we're going to come over here. There's our tough binding. Up. There's our hammerhead. There's the shovel. Yeah, there's the scythe. There we go. There's the axe. And that is the plate. Now we need one more. Do I have? No. We need one more stencil so we can make the tough tool rod. I wish you could shift click in there. Tough tool rod. Oh yeah. See, that's the regular tool rod, tough tool rod. How's this stuff doing? Molten copper. Molten aluminum brass. Okay, so we need definitely more. So basically, what I'm going to go ahead and do with this is just like clear it out enough, and then I'm going to try again. Because I don't want to put too much in there and it get all weird. Let's check on our iron. Sweet. Sweet. Wow, that was fast. Holy crap. Ooh. Since, we got the fires burning, let's see if there's anything we can cook up. I don't have much. I don't have much to cook up. Well, there we go. Sweet. And why not turn this clay into bricks? Because bricks are nice, right? Alright, now that we have all that stuff going, now, when you click over here, you'll see that it has a material cost of 8. It means it's going to take 8 cobblestone to turn this. See? Just like that. 8 cobblestone. So actually, we can leave the cobblestone in there. This requires, 8. Let's just take 8. They all require a lot, basically. Oh, it's only 3. Nice. And 3. Whoop. Now, I don't know why. I don't really need the stone axe head, actually. Because I'm probably just going to use this axe. Unless it's, like, weird and chops things all crazy. Which, we'll see what we're talking about. So, we're pretty much done with these stencils. We don't need these stencils anymore. At least I don't think we will. Because what we're going to do is we're going to, pour our molten aluminum brass over top of our different, tool pieces. Da-da. Whoops. Oh yeah, we do need these. Gotcha. How'd this do? Ooh, 1 more copper, I think. Or actually, we can go ahead and leave that in there like that. So, we only have 4 ingots worth of aluminum brass, which means we could probably only make none of these. I think we can make the stone axe head. I think that's it, as far as what we can make. Yeah, it only uses 1, so that's cool. So now we have the stone axe head cast. So we can go ahead and throw the stone axe head over here. And I think, actually, we can make one of the bindings. So let's make the tough tool rod binding. There. And that should clear us out. What? Oh, does it only take 1? Okay, that's cool. Stone broadhead axe. Okay, so it only takes 1 ingot to make the cast. That's cool. I actually did not know that. I figured it was, the same material cost. But whatever. Alright, so all we have left is copper. So what we're going to do, we can run over here and grab our ingot cast and pour out the rest of the copper. We should be empty. Yeah, we did it! So we need a little bit more. So let's grab, okay. Let's take a look at the ratio again to make sure I don't screw it up this time. It's 3 to 1. And since each ore gives 2, we have to scale it up so that it comes out even, so we don't have like weirdness going on like we just did. And actually, this is a good time to test to see if I can put this in here. Can I? I can. Okay, that's fucking cool. So that'll give us 4 of that. Actually, let's put 3 in there, give us 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This should come out even, I believe, unless I'm insane. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, too much. 2, 4, 6, and then 6 times 3 is 27. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I don't know. We'll just see how it turns out. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll have extra copper left over. I can just turn into ingots. So I don't know why I'm making a big deal out of it. Now, the reason why I'm making so much is that you can put ingots back into here and it'll melt it back down. So even though we'll have a large, like a big extra amount of molten aluminum, it won't be that big of a deal. Or aluminum brass, it won't be a huge deal that we, have extras. Because when we need it again, we can just toss it back in here. Let me throw this last one in here. There, so, all right. Now that we have that aluminum brass sitting down there at the bottom, we can go ahead and make a few more casts. And there we go. We have parts, or the casts, for all the parts that we need. Now the fun part. We are going to take our 36 iron ingots and make blocks of iron. I don't quite remember. Oh, there it was. So we need a tool station. Which actually, that being said, we don't need this tool station because the other tool station works fine. What? Like, we can use the tool forge rather than the tool station. So, like, it's all good. What's the other part? Where? Okay. Ooh, actually, do I have any in here? I do. Here we go. Across the top. Whoops. Across the sides. And bam. Tool forge. We can put the tool forge right there. Which, actually, the tool forge was originally going to go right here. But, I don't need it. Oh, I don't need to... Yeah, whatever. Sweet. So now what we're going to do is, once this is done, we are going to pour the rest out as ingots. And I put in like way too much copper. These nuggets might be an issue. Oh, cool! It just poured them right out. That's awesome. All right, now in situations like this, when you don't have enough, I need a pick. My other pick's broke. You can just go ahead and just like break the casting bench. Oh crap. Might need to do something about that. My bushes are growing very slowly. And actually, while we're out here, look what I did. I built up the bee room a little bit. Ow. Looks nice. Didn't quite turn out how I envisioned it, but I still think it looks pretty cool. Alright, we're going to go ahead and have more bee sacks. Yes. I think I've gotten to the point where I don't know if I'm going to get any more common drones. Like, I think I'm like breeding them out of their commonness. Like breeding the common gene out of those bees. And then, I don't know. I'll look into it further on. I'm not too spun up on bees. I usually just go on YouTube and like watch somebody else do bees and just copy what they do. Alright, so the rest of this copper we can pour into this. Now, while this is going, actually, we're going to take our iron and boop. Because we are going to need a bunch. Okay. There we go. Damn it. Damn it. Alright, that was kind of a waste. I didn't check before I poured it in there like that, so wasting a bit more of our copper due to my innate stupidity. I'm sure, I know that there are ways that I probably could have fixed that, but I'm not too worried about it. I got a good chunk of copper, so. Aluminum, brass, alright, sweet. I'm not worried about it. Right, soon these will finish up and then we can start making our tools. So first things first, actually, we're going to make a nice simple iron pick. Now, there are much better materials to use to make these tools. Oh, wrong book. Like if you look through the materials in New Book, go past all the different things, you start to get to actual material traits. See, wood, stone, iron, and they all have different qualities. Like iron durability is 250, handle modifier 1.3, so it'll increase the durability by 1.3. If it's like the hammer, like the the handle will increase the durability by 1.3% if the handle is made out of iron. Mining speed, mining level, redstone. So like this iron pick can mine up to redstone like you would expect. You can make it out of cactus, flint, obsidian, aluminites, an uncommon alloy that you have to mix alloys to make, which it says at the beginning of this, I believe. Yeah, it's the beginning of one of the other books. So yeah, there's all sorts of different, you can even make paper tools, which it sounds silly, but it adds a modifier to your tool. So see, here's more different, unique things that you can use. Now here's the modifiers. You put a diamond on there, it adds, you add a diamond to your tool, it adds extra durability. It increases the mining level. Same thing with emerald, 50% more durability. And all sorts of different things you can add. Like look at that, an auto smelt, like it'll just automatically smelt anything that you mine. Auto repair, add it. Shit ton of redstone, it'll increase the mining speed. All cool stuff like that. So what we're doing now is just basic tools so we can get started. I'm just going to do regular iron tools just so we can get going. And of course, for our iron, how much do we have? We have 57 or 53 ingots. So iron binding, iron pickaxe head, and iron tool rod. We're going to come over here to our tool station. Now keep in mind, the regular tools you can make in the other station, I believe, but for the advanced tools like the hammer and the lumber axe, excavator, scythe, cleaver, battle axe, etc., you need the tool forge. So for our pickaxe, put that there, that there, that there, and you can name it. Lano axe, Lano pick, axe. Please. No, I'm just kidding. Just like that, we have the Lano pickaxe. Now, what's exceptionally badass about these tools, before you're like, well, that was kind of a pain in the ass, what happens when they break? Well, that's the thing. As their durability runs down, look at this. See, works just like a regular pick. But as their durability runs down, they will eventually break. But they don't break to the point where you've got to go in there and do everything I just did all over again. They will break as in, like, they're still there. Like, they're still a pickaxe, but they can't use them. Like, they mine incredibly slow. Like, your fist is probably faster. Shit like that. So then what you would do is you would come back to your tool forge. As you can see, we've got a little bit of durability damage. Tool station, come over here. And then you would, put a piece of iron in there, and it would repair it all up. Now, of course, the material that you use to repair it is based on the kind of materials that you use to build it. So if this was a copper pick, I would need copper ingots or nuggets to make it work, or to repair it and stuff. And this is also where you go to add modifications and everything. But yeah, I don't think I have any of this stuff to modify with. Like I have diamonds and stuff over there, but I don't want to use that for this. So yeah, there we go. We got our first Tinker's Construct tool, the pickaxe. Now for the big boys. I don't need this flint anymore, actually. I wasn't sure if I could use the cobble as a base material to work with. Because you can use flint and, of course, paper as well to make these base tool pieces. Alright, so now that we have that built, we can go ahead and toss those back in there because we don't need them. Now the next thing that we're going to make is going to be the hammer. Now for the hammer, we need this stuff, I believe. Let me double check. Actually, I can just look in here. Yeah, we need two large plate casts, the hammerhead cast, and of course the tough tool rod cast. Now the thing about these bigger, more advanced tools is that I believe that their modifiers and stuff are a little bit more like prominent, I think is the word I'm looking for. Like even though I'm going to make this completely out of iron, it will actually mine slower than the regular pick because, you know, it's a big expensive tool and a lot of the like more maths are behind it. I don't know. It's really hard for me to explain because I'm not like super great at Tinker's Construct yet. But just know that you have more to work with when it comes to the modifiers and stuff because you use these two things because you'll have 2 iron large plates. So you can kind of keep that in mind when you choose what materials you can make. You can make one out of iron and like one out of what else could you use, like copper, and then those two each have different qualities. So those qualities will come together and, you know, mix. You know what I mean? Well, you wouldn't normally be able to do that with a pick. It'd just be pickaxe head, tool rod, and the binding. You know what I mean? So while this mine is a little bit slower than a regular pickaxe, it mines more at once. God, it uses so much. And then there we go. And last but not least, the hammerhead. I made 2 of these, right? I guess not. There we go. What? Are we out yet? Oh no! Damn it. Alright, we're gonna have an extra one, but that's okay. It didn't melt it down. I figured it would melt it down. Well, now I know. Alright, so we're gonna come over here. Boom, boom. 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 Hammer time. Hell yeah. Let's go try this beast out. So we don't need this, this, or this anymore. Actually, I think we still need this. So let's try this beast out, and we need to wrap up the episode because it has run long. Now, like it said, oh god, take this, eat hammerhead. Oh man, get out of here. Boom! Look at that, that is amazing. Fucking get on. Yeah. Now it doesn't, obviously it doesn't mind, it doesn't work, you know, with stuff like this, like shoveled things, which is cool. I mean, that's why you'd make the excavator, you know, the big crazy shovel. Yeah. It also works based on where you're standing. See, so how it mined all that. You stand here, dink, dink, dink. It's always a 3x3 area. So if I like mined this right here, it's gonna mine into the wall. So that's something to keep in mind. Pretty much, if you have any experience with like the old school equivalent exchange 2, like the destruction catalyst, it works like with the those same like rules. Depending on where you look and how you look, the angle at which you use the item depends on where it'll mine. Go away. If you're curious what these things are, this happens. This is a Biomes of Plenty thing. It happens when it rains. It makes like little pools of water because, you know, it rained. And I believe if you just jump on top of them, they'll go away. Or just like run across them. I don't know. Wow, our farm's doing really well. I have to harvest that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make the lumber axe off camera. And then, you know, show you guys how it works in the next episode. So thanks for watching, guys. I've been Lanolin, and I will see you next time. Bye.